It's magnetic when you are yourself, and people can sense that. People sense realness, and they are attracted to realness. And when you show up as who you really are, as your true core self, you're going to draw in the people that you can best connect with automatically. Hello, and welcome back to another video. Today, I really want to talk about authenticity and what that really means, what fully being your authentic self entails, and how to step into your authentic expression. Authenticity is really being you, being all of you, without fearing judgment, without trying to fit into someone else's expectation of who you might be. Being your authentic selves means letting go of all of that and really letting your inner lights, your inner magnetism come through. Because your authenticity is magnetism. It's magnetic when you are yourself, and people can sense that. People sense realness, and they are attracted to realness. And when you show up as who you really are, as your true core self, you're going to draw in the people that you can best connect with automatically. And I just want to highlight how important it is to fully show up as yourself in every area of your life. And showing up as yourself means really embracing who you really are. And you can have different selves, like so to say. I have a video, or I'm doing a video on being multifaceted as well. You can still be your authentic self, but it can express in a different way. You can be your authentic self in a workplace where you may have to wear suits. You can let your authenticity shine through when you're at home, or when you're with your friends, or when you're at a party. So one of the things that is crucial in being your authentic self and really honoring your own expression is letting go of the judgment of others. And I cannot stress this enough. You need to be okay with other people judging you, or maybe even, and I know for my people pleasers out there, not liking you. And that's not the end of the world. And that doesn't mean you're going to die. It's okay if not everybody likes you, because you are not for everyone. You have your unique flavor, your unique expression, and that's going to find the people that it resonates with. And that's not going to be every single person on the planet, and that's not what you would want either. You want genuine connections, I assume. And in order to find genuine connections, you need to be able to genuinely connect with who you really are and feel safe to bring that out into the world. And the fear of judgment is one of the most common barriers to being your authentic self, because we're often scared to show some parts of ourselves that we've been taught to repress. Maybe when we were younger, we could be our full authentic selves, and then maybe a parent or someone outside of ourselves judge that, criticize that, and minimize that. And that's when we felt unsafe, and that's when we learned that expressing that part of myself is unsafe. So you need to relearn expressing yourself fully. You need to look at, okay, where is conditioning coming in to my self-expression? Where did I learn to suppress this part of myself? And really be honest here with yourself and look at the root cause of why you're not expressing yourself fully. And then you can show up with love, you can show up with compassion, and you can slowly start practicing having that part of yourself come out of its shell. And you can slowly start practicing having that part be openly out and about. And you can do this in safe spaces. You don't have to go from being hidden in a shell, like a version of you being hidden in a shell, and then suddenly stepping out into the world and not knowing what to do. No, you can take gentle steps. And there's so much freedom in releasing that fear of judgment. There's so much freedom in releasing that living up to expectations of other people, because it's weight. Expectations are heavy, they're weight. And when people place them on you, it's heavy for them, it's heavy for you. and it weighs your authentic expression down. So when you can, even when someone else places an expectation of you, you can gently grab it and bring it back to them, right? You don't have to hold on to other people's expectations because you're scared to let them down. If that means dimming your light, if that means dimming who you really are, because your authenticity is your light, it's your magnetism, it's what draws the right people to you, it's what draws the experience that you're meant to have towards you. So, another really big important thing here is being okay with being vulnerable, really embracing vulnerability. Being safe or feeling okay to be vulnerable is a key part of your authentic expression because your authenticity is all of you. It's especially the parts that you're scared to show to other people because you fear they might reject you. These are the parts that wants to be seen. These are often the parts that we've repressed as a child, that we used to feel safe to express, and now we don't anymore. And accepting these parts of ourselves eventually lead to so much more depth in your connections, to so much more connection in your relationships. Because again, with suppressing certain parts of ourselves, we're also holding on to that weight. The weight of the fear of being seen, the fear of being witnessed in our full, raw, vulnerable selves. And again, like here, discernment can be key as well. Maybe it is not safe to fully be vulnerable and raw and authentic around every single person on the planet. But this is where discernment comes in, and boundaries and energetic boundaries. And it's not about suppressing a certain part of you when you know that part, when you accept that part. But when the other person hasn't proven to be worthy of seeing that part, really, of witnessing that part of you. And then it's just your decision. It's not your coping mechanisms or your conditioning repressing that part. It's just you actively deciding, okay, well, I need to trust you a little bit more before I trust you with this part of myself. Because not everybody has to know you fully. Not everybody has to understand you. You're not for everybody to understand. Not everybody needs to know the full you. Not everybody deserves to know the full you. So here, discerning who feels good for me, who feels safe that I can be my full self. And I have a video about this and I'll link it below, but it's about navigating friendships, and that one really goes into also feeling safe in your body to fully be yourself around your friends. Because if you don't feel safe to be your authentic self around your friends, are they really your friends? Like if you, it often comes from fear of judgment. So what are you scared of? But I have a whole video on that, so I'm not going to go into that. The other thing that I want to talk about is being present. Listening to your inner voice. Tapping into your authenticity requires getting still, getting quiet, and tapping into your inner voice. What is looking to be heard? What is wanting to be seen within you? What parts of yourself is your inner voice kind of whispering, like, I want to come out, I want to be expressed, I want to be seen as well? And where are you shutting it down? Like really noticing with yourself and for yourself, okay, am I fully allowing my full real self to come out? And I just want to give you some practices to get to know your authentic self. So one of them is self-reflection and journaling, and asking yourself, okay, what lights me up? What feels true to me and what doesn't feel true? And journaling about who you are and what you value and what feels true to you can help you discern what is aligned and what is not aligned. It can help you discern who you are outside of expectations of others, outside of fear of judgment. Another practice I want to suggest is noticing when you start to feel out of alignment with your true self, noticing when you may be putting on a mask, noticing when your behavior or your expression changes because you want to please someone else or because you feel that fear of judgment come up and you start to change. So, paying attention to when you're coming from a place of truth or when you're coming from a place of masking and putting on a layer on top of who you really are just to fit into someone else's expectation or to fit into a box. So pay attention to when you're coming from a place of truth or when you're coming from a place where you're trying to please others to avoid discomfort or to avoid confrontation. The next one is affirmations. I love using those as like an extra little practice where you can affirm yourself daily, maybe in the morning, maybe through a writing or through listening to something, that you are worthy as you are enough as you are accepted as you are. Your full self is lovable and worthy and safe. And aligning with your desires. So asking yourself, what lights me up? What brings me joy? What feels good for me? What feels true for me? And aligning with those and noticing as well, where am I doing things that feel out of alignment with who I am? Where am I putting myself in situations, or where am I around people that feel like I have to put on a mask, that feel like I have to fit into a role that doesn't feel true to me? Authenticity is about being true to your own path. And the last one is practicing saying no. Because sometimes, in order to stay true to our path, we have to say no to things that don't align for us. We have to say no to certain opportunities that maybe a previous version of ourselves would have wanted, but the ones that we are right now, it doesn't align with anymore. So being okay with saying no, being okay with honoring your authenticity, honoring your desires, honoring your own expression, in rejecting whatever doesn't align with that. Saying no to the things that don't resonate with your true self. So I want to invite you to start embracing your authenticity. Start diving into maybe why you don't feel safe to fully be yourself around some people. And you can look at your body language here. You can look at if you're tensing up or if you're relaxed, and if you feel safe around this person to be your full self. And even asking yourself in social settings like, okay, am I holding back a part of me here? Or am I holding back a part of my personality? Or am I curious about this part of myself that I haven't really let out before? And how can you practice that? How can you embrace that? I remember for me when I had this curiosity within myself that I wanted to honor, and it felt exciting. But I was like, is this like, I don't know if this is the space to do it, because sometimes our desires or our expressions or forms of expression are really unique, and not everybody will be able to understand them. And that's okay. Like I said before, not everybody needs to understand you. But then you can go to the spaces where there is no judgment. You can go to the spaces where there is understanding, and put yourself in that environment so that that part of yourself can come out, so that you feel safe to express yourself in that way, whichever that may be, whichever is unique to you. And I just want to lovingly remind you that this is, like everything, it's a journey. And coming back to your authenticity may look like you feeling so fully like yourself in this one evening, and then after that, looking to find that again, because where did that come from? How did that happen? It can look like you feeling so fully yourself around this certain person, but then once they disappear, you feel repressed again, or you feel like you're hiding some parts of yourself again, and then needing to find that again. It's a constant remembering, it's a constant coming back. And the more that you practice it, the more it's going to feel natural to just really express who you are, no matter where you are, no matter who's around you. Because if you have to make the decision to dim your light, to dim your magnetism, or to be yourself and allow your magnetism to shine through, allow your inner light to shine through, because people sense that. And you can sense that as well. And if it comes to that decision, you'd be, I don't want to say you're crazy, but let's just make it obvious. We're going to decide to be ourselves. We want to decide to be ourselves. And your true self, your real self, the parts of yourself that you may not feel fully safe yet to express, they are worthy to be seen, to be held, and to be loved. And all of you and all of your expression is safe, and all of you and who you are is worthy and is lovable, really. And I hope that you realize that. And I hope that you can express that and share your gifts with the world, because your authentic expression is a gift. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it's helped you maybe get a little bit more deeper into connection with your authentic self. And don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. I love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.